There's a scene in the movie The Dark Knight where the Joker stands in front of a giant stack of cash and sets it on fire. The room is full of the most dangerous criminals in Gotham, yet nobody stops him. Most people watch that and think he's insane. He isn't. He's making the most financially sophisticated point in the entire movie, and nobody in the audience catches it because they're too busy watching the flames. They see destruction. The Joker sees a demonstration. There's a difference between those two things, and that difference is worth understanding. The Joker didn't burn that money because he didn't want it. He burned it because he already understood something that takes most people their entire lives to figure out. Money is not the goal. Money is the tool. And the moment you need money more than you need a plan, you've already lost. You're not playing the game anymore. The game is playing you.
That's not a villain's philosophy. That's the entire premise of financial freedom. And the Joker got there before your financial advisor did, before every self-help book about passive income, before every YouTube channel telling you to invest in index funds. He understood the endgame, and he demonstrated it by lighting the scoreboard on fire. This video is about what that scene was actually saying, because The Dark Knight wasn't just a superhero movie. It was a masterclass in financial psychology dressed up in a clown mask. And if you've spent your whole life chasing money instead of building a position where money no longer controls you, you've missed the lesson completely. Every April, millions of people get a tax refund. The average refund in America runs somewhere around $3,000, and within 30 days, most of it is gone. Not invested, not saved, gone. A new TV, a car payment caught up, a weekend that felt like a reward for surviving another year of the same thing. $3,000 evaporated, and nothing on the other side of it is any different than it was before. That's not a spending problem, that's a purpose problem. And purpose problems don't get solved by earning more. They get solved by deciding what the money is actually for before it arrives. Think about a man sitting at a kitchen table, staring at his bank account on a laptop screen. $3,000 is sitting there. It felt like breathing room for the first time in months. He told himself he'd be smart with it this time. He meant it. 2 weeks later, he's looking at the same screen, and the number is back to where it started. Nothing changed, nothing was built. The money passed through his hands on the way to someone else's balance sheet. Here's the thing nobody tells you about cash sitting in a checking account. It doesn't stay neutral. It moves. It has gravity, and that gravity pulls it toward whatever has the strongest claim on it: the landlord, the car payment, the credit card, or the dinner that felt like a treat.
Money without a destination finds one on its own, and the destinations it finds on its own are never the ones that build anything. The Joker from the Dark Knight movie had a destination for every dollar he touched. It was calculated and deliberate and completely his. Most people have no destination for their money at all, just a vague feeling that they should probably be saving more and a specific plan to do that starting next month. Next month never comes. The refund does. And the cycle runs again without anyone deciding it should. The fix isn't discipline. Discipline runs out. The fix is a system that gives every dollar a job before it arrives. An automatic transfer that moves money into an index fund the same day the paycheck hits. A separate account for emergencies that isn't attached to a debit card. A structure that makes the right decision the default so you never have to rely on willpower at 11 at night when the impulse hits. The Joker didn't rely on willpower. He built a structure. Yours just needs to be legal. There's a moment in every working person's life where they do the math and realize something uncomfortable. They have been trading time for money for 10, 15, 20 years, and the math has never changed. More hours, more money. Fewer hours, less money. The equation is fixed, and the only way to get ahead inside that equation is to work more hours than the person next to you for slightly better pay. That's not a career. That's a treadmill with a better view. And the cruel part is that it's designed to feel like progress, while the gap between where you are and where you need to be stays exactly the same. Picture a man in his late 30s sitting in a parking lot before a shift. He's been at the same company for 8 years. He makes more than he did when he started. His expenses grew faster than his raises did, and he is somehow more behind at 38 than he was at 26, despite doing everything he was supposed to do. He showed up, he got promoted, he played the game correctly. The game just had a ceiling he didn't see coming, and by the time he hit it, there were obligations on every side keeping him exactly where he was. Stop and sit with that for a second. 8 years at the same job. He made the correct decisions. He's still behind. That's not bad luck. That's the design of a system where your time is someone else's resource and your raise is always slightly smaller than your cost of living increase. The treadmill isn't broken. It's working exactly as intended. The question is whether you're going to keep running on it or build something that lets you step off. The Joker never worked a shift in his life. That's not an endorsement, it's an observation. He operated entirely outside the time for money equation. His resources came from leverage, from control, from a position he built that didn't require him to trade hours to fund it. The method was chaos. The underlying structure was the opposite of chaos. It was architecture. That's what removing yourself from the paycheck cycle actually means. Not quitting your job tomorrow, not dropping everything to start a business that may or may not work. It means building something alongside your current life that generates value without requiring your direct time every single day. A portfolio of index funds large enough to produce passive returns, a rental property, a digital product, a stake in something that compounds while you sleep, something that breaks the fixed equation so that your income is no longer perfectly correlated with your hours. The paycheck cycle doesn't end because you get a better job. It ends because you build something that makes the job optional. That's the end game. Not a bigger salary, not a corner office. The morning when you could stop showing up and the money would keep moving without you. That morning is built in the evenings of years before it arrives.
Now consider Batman. Because Batman is the part of this movie nobody analyzes, and he's the most important character in it from a financial perspective. He's not the hero of this story, he's the warning. Bruce Wayne has more money than anyone in Gotham, and every night he converts it into equipment, vehicles, and technology that he personally destroys fighting a battle that never ends. He's not investing, he's spending down his fortune to stay in a fight that produces nothing. No return, no position, no compounding. Just an endless cycle of resources in, chaos out, repeat. That's the reactive money trap. Income arrives and immediately gets converted into maintenance, keeping the current situation from getting worse, rather than building anything that moves the needle forward. Bruce Wayne does it in a cave with a very expensive batsuit. Most people do it with a checking account and a stack of bills. The scale is different, the dynamic is identical. That's most people's relationship with money. Not because they're billionaires, but because the dynamic is identical at every income level. Something breaks and money goes toward fixing it. The car, the medical bill, the rent increase, the emergency that wasn't supposed to happen this month. Income arrives and immediately gets allocated to problems. Nothing is left over to build anything because the problems are always slightly larger than the income and the gap gets covered with debt. Batman is exhausted. He has everything and he's exhausted because money without a philosophy is just an expensive way to stay reactive. He never built a position, he built a response system, and response systems require constant funding because the problems never stop coming. The Joker had nothing by comparison, and he controlled everything. He wasn't reacting to Batman, Batman was reacting to him. That's the power dynamic the movie is actually about, and it has nothing to do with good and evil. It has everything to do with who built a position and who didn't.
The person who needs money the least has the most power in any room they walk into. The person who has built a life where the paycheck is optional negotiates differently, works differently, makes decisions differently. They are not desperate, and desperation is the most expensive thing a person can carry into any financial decision they ever make. It shows. Employers sense it. Landlords sense it. It costs more than any single bad purchase ever could because it colors every decision from a position of weakness.
You have been playing Batman this whole time, showing up, funding the operation, trying to hold everything together with a salary that was never designed to make you free. It was designed to make you useful. There is a difference between those two things, and the difference compounds over decades into a gap that feels impossible to close. The move is not to become the Joker. The move is to understand what he understood, that the goal was never the money. The goal was the position, the place you build yourself into where money flows toward you instead of through you, where the income arrives and has somewhere to go that builds rather than just maintains, where the equation starts shifting in your favor for the first time because you finally stopped playing the game everyone else designed and started building one of your own. That position doesn't happen overnight. It happens in the boring decisions made consistently over years. The automatic transfer set up on payday, the index fund contribution that happens before the spending begins, the evening spent building something instead of reacting to the week, the year where nothing feels like it's changing and then suddenly the number is large enough to matter. The Joker burned the money to show everyone in that room who was really in control. You don't have to burn anything. You just have to stop letting the paycheck decide everything. Build the position first. Let everything else follow.